With that, I wanted to welcome you, everyone, to the August 4th Quantum Leap broadcast with Cory, Nott, myself, David, Kersten. And we welcome a special guest this week, Clifton Barnes with CA&C Video Productions. He's a seasoned videographer, actually a second generation videographer who learned the trade from his dad, and he's a member of the CC Burn B&I chapter, one of the biggest and most well-known networking organizations in the Bay Area and in California in general too. So, you know, I've really been impressed with Clifton. The more I've learned about him and his skills and craft for the trade of videography. So I'm honored to have him here and discuss some of his insights on small business or solutions in the video field for small business, and just talk about kind of videography in general in terms of how we can use video to grow our business, how we can use video to accomplish our goals as individuals and entrepreneurs. And with that, I want to get right to Clifton. If just wanted to see if you could give a brief introduction to yourself and your professional background, Clifton.
All right. Hello, my name is Clifton Barnes with CA&C Video Productions. I'm a second-generation videographer. My father started the company in 1985. We believe in preserving history because your history matters.
Thank you. And with that, I wanted to turn it over to for you to do your presentation on small business or solutions for small business. Take it away.
All right, appreciate it. So I would say that there is three things that is needed to help when it comes to using video, whether that is online for your website or on your social media platforms. And I definitely recommend getting social media platforms, especially in this day and age, because it's free. So it only helps, doesn't hurt. So the first thing we start out with is behind the scenes footage. So using, what we have here, we have video, you have your cell phone. That is, you can have your cell phone now. And what you can do with behind the scene footage, a lot of people on social media, they want to see the human aspect of your business. So behind the scenes footage definitely removes the veil of, how are you as the human? They're attracted to you as the human of the business. Yes, your business is, whatever business it is that you do, that is important for you to be in the business, but it is important also for you to be likable, for you to show a credibility that you have knowledge of what you're doing, whatever that business is. So showing the behind the scenes, how you do what you do definitely helps. I think that brings a little bit more credibility to to yourself as well as the business as well. The next thing is video testimonials. What I believe that when you look for anything on, say, let's use an example of Amazon. The first thing that you're going to do is go to the review section. So reviews, everyone knows reviews are important. Okay. But I think that video testimonials are even better because you're giving that a little bit more credibility. You're seeing people's passion about how that person helped you, and then how they fixed whatever the problem is that they had and how they fixed it for you. They're giving a little bit of their credibility to exponentially help your credibility, quite honestly. So that helps definitely on your website, but this is the thing that I think that is specific for social media that can definitely help when, you can share those testimonials on your social medias. LinkedIn is one, Facebook is another. So depending on your target market, you definitely want to have those video testimonials. And that's just one way to incorporate video. YouTube is growing at an exponential rate, obviously. So videos are definitely the thing. So I think that video testimonials doesn't hurt you, it helps you. So then last thing, let's talk about some Zoom etiquette. Let's talk about the video as far as we're on, Zoom. It could be Go Meeting. It doesn't matter. The Zoom etiquette, there's a couple of techniques that helps as well. Lighting. Usually the mistake that I see with individuals is what they do is put their they put their laptop with the window behind them. That shines light on the camera of the laptop. And the problem is, because the light is shining on the camera of the laptop, it is trying to it's trying to find that light. So it's trying to darken you to see what's coming out of the window. That's not a good thing. You want the light to be shining on you. Light on the subject helps more than anything. I would almost say 50% of videography or any video is about lighting. Probably, even higher, but lighting is one of the most important things. Another thing is just to have the camera level, level with yourself instead of above or below. You want to have it, make sure that it's level with yourself as a subject. So as far as video goes, those are just a couple of tips that I recommend for video that will definitely help you online, on your website, and on your social media.
Great. Thanks, Clifton. We are going to open it up to discussion, but I wanted to present a few thoughts I had, and then we're going to talk about some of the great insights that you shared as well. I did produce a few slides just to kind of keep me on track here, and I'm actually going to be presenting to my B&I meeting in greater depth tomorrow. So I will, share some of that. But here we go. I just wanted to say a few thoughts on the COVID-19 business environment. I'd say the best insights I heard is actually from our colleague, Louise Gokul, Quantum Leap podcast. I will put the link up in below and also in the blog post. She really touched on what brings me to the second point about the Chinese character for crisis is actually written with two brush strokes. One brush stroke stands for danger, the other for opportunity. So there's really I haven't seen it put any better than this. And David Toman, our previous guest, actually talked about this. He actually knows Chinese, to where we have this mix of danger and opportunity right now in this crisis. And I do like this quote from Richard M. Nixon, who definitely knows a few things about crisis, although it didn't work out as favorably as it probably would have hoped for, the former President Nixon. Although anybody who knows politics knows that Nixon was very skilled in politics. In a lot of ways, he actually kind of foreshadowed today's politics in many ways. And Nixon wrote and said, among other things, crisis represents opportunities to grow in wisdom. When you approach each crisis with this attitude, you will pluck the opportunity out of each situation and benefit from it. This attitude also sets the stage mentally for you to continue to grow. In short, this crisis really has helped sow the seeds for success for the Quantum Leap podcast and the accompanying video marketing program that I attribute, or that's connected to the Quantum Leap podcast. Here's just a couple of quick notes about wide angle media. I combine business development and video marketing / event promotion, and it's designed to generate increased sales and exposure. And I utilize powerful motion graphics tools. And here's a picture I actually took of my stepdaughter, Elvire. It was actually inspired by the Kaepernick photo. I actually took this photo about 3 years ago, right after that, shortly after that, Kaepernick photo came out, which is really probably one of the most famous photographs, and even more relevant today than when it came out. I have a few notes here on how the COVID-19 environment has impacted my video business. Definitely the mix of crisis and opportunity, or danger and opportunity. It's limited in-person production, but really I've found a way to shift about 80% of the production can be done through Zoom if you're creative and innovative. And I know I've compared notes with Clifton about this, and then he's, done a similar thing, which is, I think, interesting to, if you kind of throw up your hands and say, well, I can't shoot anymore, I can't do anything. Well, that's not true. There are so many things that we can do in this environment. And one of them is filming just a lot over Zoom and utilizing video and audio over Zoom, which I've really done a lot of, and I know Clifton has too. So we'd be happy to talk to you about some innovative ways to produce video and audio over Zoom. We have really, with the opportunity comes an increased demand and need for video and online digital products and services, live streaming, just everything is online now. So you need high quality content. And, I know Clifton does live streaming. He's been in that business for a while. So, we all have different strengths as videographers and business owners. And I think, we're grateful to kind of have these strengths in an environment that really values and rewards innovation. So I really think the economic crisis has created a fertile market for business development and pointed up the need for new innovative communication strategies, and video in particular. And really video is, a lot of people, video kind of means different things to different people, but it's really what you do with it. And that's where anybody can turn on the video camera and record something, but not anybody can be a professional videographer. That takes years and years of experience. And I've learned from Clifton and other colleagues like Stu too. And I really am impressed with, the power of video, but also how much there is to learn and grow as a videographer too. So I did want to just end on a few quick look at some video solutions for small business during COVID-19. One is a podcast, which can be audio or video. And, Quantum Leap's a great example of that. About really, I was going to do some more in-person events, a speaker series to build network, reach out to other business owners. But I came up with the Quantum Leap podcast in conversations with Cory, and I was really grateful to have him, who's actually a expert in business development, to add his expertise with my video skills and knowledge. So that really dovetails nicely with my business. I think a video blog, which you can also do during this crisis, and I think this is where, working with a videographer just to map out what your goals are and what you can do, like with somebody like Clifton or myself, you can start a video blog in these times and not run into any danger of social distancing, violating the 6 feet with, a mask or whatever. And you can produce that for social media. So, all of these are going to require a little bit further knowledge from us about your business and what works for you. Quick tips video series, which I'm talking about with Cory to promote his Lift program, and which is going to be kind of a collaboration with the Lift and Quantum Leap. And I'm also talking about something similar with Clifton too, about quick tips or kind of how to tell your story. So we've kind of brainstormed about a few of these issues. So we look forward to bringing you some of these innovative products as we move forward. And, we'll have Clifton and myself back to kind of give an update on where we've taken some of these issues. A video package for your website, which I say is really a package of videos that are designed to accomplish your goals. And, both Clifton and I, this is, one of almost our bread and butter type of things, in that, okay, what are your goals? How are we going to produce an effective package of videos to take you towards your goals? And really, I think it starts with, you have to have video on your homepage. You have to have a quality video on your homepage that says something about you and why people should use your business. And video testimonials are another essential piece, that if you don't have video testimonials or any testimonials on your site, that's just really a non-starter in a lot of ways for new business. And, that really ties into LinkedIn and social media. Couple of innovative things that, I'm kind of, we're in touch with, Clifton and Cory and other people about, and also working with another podcast called The Ripple Effect, is really a mini documentary or biopic. And really this is kind of using film to tell a story about your business. So you know how everybody knows about those infomercials that kind of look like a news broadcast, but you can actually make a mini movie that looks like a movie to tell your personal story. And that's a powerful thing over video. And we're gonna be working on some of those segments for Cory and I, and also Clifton as well, in terms of how to do those, what those look like. And for example, telling Clifton's story about being a second generation videographer and who he is. I think there's just people say that they do, they're buying you, they're not buying the product per se, but they have to value you and like you and trust you, and the best way to do that is through video. So I think Clifton really gave that great example of raw scenes, kind of behind the footage, this something that's real that tells your story. And I also put this thing on here which probably 95% of people don't know what it is. I'm calling it a docu-series, which is a series of ongoing shows similar to Quantum Leap, but I'm doing it with The Ripple Effect. And this is where you tell the story over time. And I use the phrase, the name called the production type, The Real World, where you go out and shoot kind of, and then you look at all these storylines and you're doing kind of a documentary type, and then you look at what you got and then you repackage that as a series of segments. And that's what I'm doing with the Ripple Effect. So sorry, I'm a bit over on time here, but I did want to turn it over to Cory to just give his thoughts on what he thought kind of resonated with him out of Clifton and mine, our presentations, but also where he sees the potential to use video to grow your business, and the role that video has, and particularly in this COVID-19 environment.
Yeah, so Cory Nott here, business coach with Take Wing Coaching. I enjoyed the presentations. I think there's, the big value of video is well, it's been going on for years, obviously, as more and more people are paying attention to what's on their screen. I think, what was I reading? Something like 60% of all marketing really is done through video. I mean, just what people watch. I myself am not a big fan of video. Oddly enough, I'm more of an auditory and kinesthetic learner. And so I find video to be a little tedious at times. I usually, like if I'm going through a course, I'll speed it up. But it's also got, tremendous value because you can see people, you can see their, engage. Basically, you get some engagement with them, even if it's somewhat passive. You can see what's on their face. We can see, what they're thinking. And so I'm not saying I'm not, well, anyway, getting out of that, there's, I think, room for all three learning styles, especially if it's done well with video. And more people are visual learners than any other types of learners. So even if you don't find video as your favorite thing, I think you'll find that most of your audience does. And that's really important these days, especially now that we can't get out and meet people face-to-face like we used to. And even if we are face-to-face, we're somewhat more mask-to-mask, which means we lose a fair amount of cues that don't apply when we're on video. A couple of things that I would also throw into when you're doing video or doing any kind of writing or presentation is to really go with your why it is you're doing things. And you said something, David, about why people buy you, not what you do. And I would take it one step further. They buy why you do it, not what you do. And if you want people to know why you do things, tell them, and tell them through video, tell them in your writing. Otherwise, they'll make something up, but you'll find that you'll attract more people when you tell them, why you do what you do. So Clifton is a second generation videographer, and there's a story there that I'm sure he's told. We didn't hear it today so much, but I think if we heard it, it would be much more attractive. And then I would also go into you know, if you're promoting your business through video, you know, what's inspiring you? Where are you taking your business as we move into this world of pivoting and doing video blogs and all these other things? You know, start off by telling your audience not just why you're doing what you do, but where you're planning to go. Where do you want to go, and where do you want them to go with you? So share that vision, and then also get into core values. So just, you know, starting off a video blog, you can start sharing some things about your business and what it means to you and what your customers mean to you and what your values are, your vision, your why, and so on. And once you've set that tone, you'll attract more people to the blog who are, you know, a good fit for your business.
Thank you. And yeah, I actually learned that expression from you. So you really built on that, and you know, about the buying you and buying your why. So that's very powerful stuff. And you know, your seminars, and I know that's a lot of what you're what you teach in Lyft to your online community for freelancers and entrepreneurs. So you know, I think that's a great resource if people want to learn how to do that, and also really how to build out your business. Check out the Lyft platform, who is actually a sponsor of the Quantum Leap broadcast. So I will put the link to that. And I did want to acknowledge Cory's, the platform that he and his wife Gail Nott created to develop businesses. And one other thing that I thought I did want to get Clifton's reaction to a few of my business products, about what he thinks about what you can actually do in terms of a vlog or a podcast these days in the COVID environment. But I did want to say that I really liked his insights about that raw footage, kind of behind the scenes type of things. About that goes back to kind of who you are, that you're not kind of a produce, that you're a real person with a story. So Clifton, did you have any reactions to my kind of small, what I call small business solutions? But
Yeah, I mean, I believe that not only are those good ideas to have a podcast or a vlog, the video log, but not only that, but it is one of the things that Cory has said, that I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but it was one of those things that you're trying to, some people are kinesthetic, some people are audio learners, some people are visual learners. The beauty about video logging is not only can you have the video portion, so you have the video, you have the audio because of video, so you can actually put that into audio if you want, but also there are services that allow you to even transcribe the videos. You can literally do all three with just that video. So I think, you know, obviously coming from a videographer, I'm partial. I love video, so I highly recommend creating vlogs, just because it literally does everything else.
excellent point. I did actually hear something that Clifton will appreciate. I was actually watching the B&I training with John Maxwell, a partnership between Ivan Meisner and John Maxwell. And he said that 90% of what we learn or what we know, we gain visually, or, you know, I forget the exact kind of expression where that came from. So only 10% comes the other ways. And, you know, that kind of shows the value. You know, people can kind of question this. We all know, like, through feeling and audio is powerful, but if 90% is visual, the image you project is 90% of growth. I think, of course, you have to have substance and things, but there's all these kind of subconscious factors that go into it. I don't know. I wanted to, I'd have to give apparently this is based on a research from Stanford University. And I don't know if Cory has any comments on that. And I did want to ask him about our small business tips segment, what we kind of are looking at with that too.
Yeah, I agree. I think the visual field is very important. My suggestion goes more towards learning styles versus, you know, our eyes are, you know, extremely well involved. And so clearly, you know, what we take in terms of stuff, I mean, even video in some sense is more flat than the real world, right? You know, when we're watching something in the real world, we take that in. That's why people go to sporting events. You know, we can watch it on TV, but You know, you show up there to be, you know, not just be in the crowd, but then you see it, right? You truly see it in 3D. So video at least gives you that experience. So I think it really applies to a lot of things. And if you're engaging people into learning something, try to engage all three styles, no matter what, because no matter what your style is, because those people that you want to pay attention to what you're saying may or may not be video. I had a good example. I think somebody sent, and I do some marketing for a client, and somebody, you know, who works for them sent them an image and saying, can we send this image out to, you know, along with the email that goes out, because there's so much text. And it's just this picture, and I look at the picture and it doesn't tell me anything, but she says, this says everything to me about what this program is about. Right. And it's just somebody batting away a coronavirus. And it's like, okay, you know, but a picture tells 1,000 words to some people. So, and then some people want the 1,000 words. That's the way I see it. And what was the other question, David? I'm sorry.
I did want to introduce our idea for our business tips that we were going to do, and I will just make a note myself, but I want to get your reaction. That to me, you're just one of the most knowledgeable people on business development issues. So we're going to do kind of a quick tips, a series of videos where I interview Cory, and then we put it out as a series. It's almost similar to that John Maxwell thing that Ivan Meisner did, except for we're just doing it audio. So we can kind of mine Cory's mind, pardon the two, mine his mind, but of all these kind of gold nuggets that he's actually sharing on the Lift platform, and then do that in a series of quick tips for business owners. So I think it's a brilliant idea. And actually Cory kind of came up with the concept, or we kind of both did in some ways. And, you know, that's really, I see what I've learned from video is actually how to collaborate. And that's what I love about this podcast. That's what I love about knowing Clifton and Cory, and that you take one idea yourself, and then when you add the collaboration that you need with video, you get something that's way more powerful.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working on that. I've been writing all kinds of things and doing all kinds of things for years, and there's always something good that we come up with. And David is always, you know, kind of one of my biggest promoters, which I love. So working with him will be great. I think he does that well with all of his clients. And that is actually another advantage, I think, to hiring, you know, a professional videographer for these kind of things, is because they're able to give a great deal of feedback that, you know, if I just sit here and record myself and so on, I might be able to get a professional setup. I'm sure I can invest in some better equipment and so on. And I don't have that encouragement, that second pair of eyes to say, you know, oh, you're talking a little too long, or let's clean that up a little bit, or, you know, let me have a, you know, you know, that doesn't really make sense to me, right? People like us sometimes can ramble a little bit, or maybe we're too succinct. It really depends on how we look at information as well. So the videographer, I find, is often not just somebody who's offering a professional image, but also looking at you as a presenter on the spot.
Yeah, and with that, I wanted to end on a few closing notes. That really one thing that I've seen that's so critical with video is that collaborative aspect. And what that means is you actually need somebody who's easygoing, supportive, that you can collaborate with. And that's what I love about both Clifton and Cory. And I think in order to get good video, you need good collaborators. And these are two of the best right here. And, you know, Clifton and I actually have been in conversations about, you know, offering a joint package if people have a virtual event, or maybe you want to do a symposium or an online kind of business meeting. We can actually film that virtually and produce it and disseminate it. So, you know, get in touch with us either individually or jointly, or, you know, by reaching out to us, and, you know, we can produce an event like that. And I want to thank Clifton for coming on to share his insights. I look forward to keeping the conversation open about video solutions in the time of COVID-19. And with that, thanks everyone for joining us today, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Clifton. Thank you, David.